All right, everyone. So this is, as usual, part 2 of 2. This is our 57th show, and we just finished part 1. So if you are seeing this for the first time, this is part 2 of 2. So if you want to see the introduction and our first viewer comments and a lot of other topics that kind of came up along the way, then just pause here, look at the previous video that we just downloaded, and this will be the immediate continuation of where we left off. Good enough?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we had just finished talking about Rahesh, who is a viewer long time. Again, we have thunder. We've got a pretty intense storm just behind us, so I'm going to try to push through this as quick as possible. Lightning is behind us. So we're going to try to make this a weather event, too. Why not, right?
Sure.
Let's go. Come on. My phone's waterproof. We'll put the phone to the test, right? Got warranty on it.
I'm not waterproof, so let's go.
All right, so anyway, Rahesh we were just talking about Monica Seles and whether she was our favorite or not. We were talking about some U.S. Open stuff, Serena Venus. We were talking about a lot of stuff. But we are going to move into the next comment, which was from a new viewer. We always bring up new viewer comments. This viewer is The Look. The Look, right? The Look.
Like it. I like the name.
Like it. So, do you want to read the comment that The Look shot out?
He says, great video. Keep going. Smiley face and muscles.
Yes. So he shows great video. Keep going. Let's go. Love the comment. The reason why I have to make this a comment of the day, and we try to throw in a comment of the day. And Kaya-sama had one that was really extremely good, but this little 5 or 6 word comment to me was important. Man, that lightning strike was wicked. So this is why. We have, again, 5 kids. We have a really fun time, just saying. But for about 2 weeks, 3 of the 5 were in Florida. So for about 2 weeks, we really had a lot. We had never. That was the first time ever that 3 kids were gone. So it was like the first time in years, if ever, that there was only 2 kids in the house, and it was the youngest 2. So we had a lot of time that we realized that we had to find stuff to do because we had finished our chores so quickly.
Yeah.
So the kids, of course, came back. I'm so happy they're back, obviously. But we haven't. When you have 5 kids, we came to realize that we don't have any spare time. So we came to do this video today, and we wanted to do it, but we're like, geez, then we still got to cook, and we're like, all right. But I read the comment. Great job. Keep going. So for me, that was the motivation that I needed yesterday, and when I read it again today, to do the video today. Obviously, everyone's my motivation, but when I read that one from a new viewer, I was stoked. I was stoked about that, right? So, was there anything else with this comment? I didn't.
No, that was it.
All right, so yeah, I mean that was it. That's all he said. Short, sweet, and it was a motivational deal for us to do the video today. So. By the way, we always do personal match updates. Carla and I generally have always come with a set score that we have played in the morning, and then we'll include it in our video. Don't think that we haven't played sets. Again, we had the paint incident 2 days ago. We have thunderstorms all day today. You can hear it.
Plus, we taught the kids, so we didn't have
Yeah,
to.
and then we took
we
the
played
kid.
doubles with them.
Yeah, and when the day the kids came back, we wanted to get them on the court because they hadn't been on the court in a while, about like 10 or 11 days. And we took them right out, played doubles, and just kind of had fun, even though Christopher already had a meltdown that day.
Yes.
But it was all fun and games. We had a good time.
Yes.
So anyway, so yeah, and we drilled the kills. We drilled the kids yesterday, though. No,
No, you went out with Jonathan yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I played. So yes, we
I had a
drilled.
busy work day.
Yeah, we drilled the kids 2 days ago. We played doubles when they came back. We drilled the kids 2 days ago and spilled the paint. And then yesterday, after I got done cleaning the mess up, I took Jonathan out. And yeah, you played doubles with us. So we've played some, but we haven't had the head-to-head.
Right.
So we still will be doing it, but we just haven't had the opportunity. But thank you, The Look, for the motivational comment. Really enjoyed that one. Appreciate it. Next comment, Carla's going to read it. This has Isham as the man that wrote the comment.
How come Novak Djokovic is invited at almost every kid's day of major tournaments, which means he's a role model, and then finds himself booed by the Wimbledon crowd.
It's a good question.
And then Rajesh made a comment about that, and then he kept going, but we'll stop there.
Okay, so go ahead.
I think you're pretty much going to say the same thing. I mean, they booed him at Wimbledon because he was playing Kyle Edmund. I mean, they want him to win because he's British. I don't think they were doing it because it was something personal against him. Plus, there's a lot of players that get invited to this thing. Nick Kyrgios gets invited, and he's definitely not a role model. It doesn't mean anything.
You mean to the kids' things?
Yes, he does, yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
They're trying to find, I guess, the most popular players they can grab to these things, and Djokovic would be one of them.
Yeah, she's correct. I think what she's getting at is over our tennis careers and long before I met Carla, I can't tell you how many kids' charity events or kids' days I have been either a part of, or strung rackets thereof, or helped out, or assisted, or poured water, or brought bananas. I mean, I'll name a couple. I remember it was Mobile, Alabama. I think it was Agassi that came out and played Roddick, I think, in a singles match. You know, they wore microphones on their, you know, they had fun with the crowd and so forth. But I think at that same point in time, I don't think Agassi was America's beloved tennis player, and nor was it really Andy Roddick, but nonetheless, the place was sold out. Two, I remember going to an event with Marty Fish, or not with Marty Fish, but I was there where he was with Andy Roddick and I think the Bryan brothers. It was a nice event, charitable event, and the place was packed. Great, it was a beautiful thing. I enjoyed. I had a chance to see that. However, again, I mean, Marty Fish wasn't America's baby doll tennis player. It's just that, hey, they came to town and they sold tickets. I think a lot of players get invited to things to sell tickets and T-shirts and so forth. Doesn't really matter what kind of role model they are. The boos at Wimbledon, she's 100% correct, didn't have anything to do with Djokovic as a person. It had to do with he was playing the number one English player ahead of Murray, Edmund, and he was favored to win. And during that match, I think that they kind of got mad at each other. And because Djokovic got fired up, then obviously the crowd's going to side with the home field advantage and going to...
Well, it happened to Serena against Henin. Henin was from Belgium, but they were playing in France, which they loved her, so they booed Serena. I mean, they even made her cry.
Yeah, so anyway, I think that's a good point. He's invited to things, but then again, so is Kyrgios still to this day, obviously, and he's like the world's biggest waste of talent, in my opinion. That's another story for another day. But I think Rajesh commented...
Yeah, Rajesh, Wimbledon's crowd is like that. They cried a lot for a Brit player to win, so they will be like that, and which pretty much is what I said.
Yeah.
And then Hisham comes back and says, I remember the year 2015 when he managed to crush the saver shot from Federer in Arthur Ashe Arena, how he dealt with the loud 25,000 supporters.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's just awesome. I think it's absolutely spectacular. I agree with Rajesh, and 9 times out of 10 I do. The only thing I didn't was, I think we just talked about something with Seles earlier.
Right.
Something, but I was pretty much right there with you anyway. So Rajesh generally brings the same thoughts that I generally have. So I agree with that 100%. All right, so didn't he mention one more thing about Seles though, Rajesh? Didn't Rajesh have a comment?
Yes, we're going back. Now Rajesh made a comment. He said, also, maybe Carla and you don't like Seles' game, but many loved. And if she was the only one to beat then the number one, she had absolutely no fear for anyone. She won Grand Slams at a very young age, and she was beating Graf match after match, and definitely turned out to be a nightmare for Graf. One YouTube commentator posted that she was inspired by Seles' two-handed backhand and started using it. So it depends, and I always love her game. And regarding grunting, yes, but even Serena Venus also does that, so no big deal.
Yeah. I agree with that too. Just to reiterate, I don't think it was ever meant to be interpreted that we didn't care for Seles. Really love her as a player. Really got pumped up to see her play. Still do when we watch nuggets of her past. But it was just the game that I wouldn't coach. It wasn't my favorite player, but she was and is a great player.
Awesome. I mean, look at Bartoli. Bartoli couldn't do much with the two-hand. I mean, it's just
Bartoli won Wimbledon.
Yeah, she got lucky in my opinion.
Wasn't her racket like 3 times too long?
It's not recommended to play two-handed, especially in this generation. The ball is just too fast.
Wait a minute. Didn't Bartoli have like an
extended racket?
No, it was like you remember the movie? What was it? Like that? There was a movie, Adam Sandler, the golf club. I think it was like Happy Gilmore. He had the putter, and it was like as big as a hockey stick. So her racket, I think, was like synonymous with that. If I remember correctly, and I have to check this, but a regular size tennis racket is generally about 27 inches, with the plus version being, I think, 27 and a half. I think hers had like a baseball handle, man. I think it was like really wicked long. But I may be off of my measurements. 27 and a half for plus, but I think hers went beyond that. All right, so that completes viewer comments. I mean, again, there wasn't a ton of them, but they're always very mind-stimulating, so we always really appreciate them. I know we read Kiyosama's about 4 times, discussed it all. I know Rahesh's were just amazing as always. There wasn't there one. Oh, at the end we have one that we're gonna bring back up from Stimpy Boy. So we still talk about a lot of these topics shows later, just because they're still kind of fresh on the comment threads. Anyway, so thanks so much for your comments, and keep them coming. It helps us out tremendously, and as always, they're very mind-stirring in a good way, right? All right, so now we're going to jump right into some personal topics and some results. We have 2 women's tournaments and 1 men's. Well, we have the City Open men and women's, and then San Jose with the women. So we're going to jump right into that. Well, I guess we're not going to give all the results. We're going to do notable results as we did for Wimbledon, given that the players within that match are who we think has a chance to get into the second week of the U.S. Open. You need that? You need that up for it, or are you pretty good?
No,
I'm gonna check the camera.
I think we wrote down the scores for that already.
All right, cool. So today at the City Open on the women's side, we had the opportunity to watch a match between Sloane Stephens and Bethany Maddox-Sands. First and foremost, the only reason why I mentioned this match, I think that anyone would assume that Stephens should cruise through this match. Well, she didn't, and I know she's had an up and down year, and it's very nice to see Maddox-Sands back on the court. Personally, I think of Maddox-Sands as the doubles player, nothing more, so I don't mention this comment because I think she's going to make it to the second week in doubles of the U.S. Open. I mean, in singles, but she could very well win the U.S. Open with her partner Safarova.
Sure.
So, just respectable there.
I think if Sands honestly got fitter and was a little bit younger, she could have done more in tennis.
Yeah, and she tore a knee up too.
Exactly. It's hard to come back from an injury, and her game is actually nice to watch.
Yeah. Also, I must say, and I always notice this. The only thing that I really respect, honestly, about her game as a person, beautiful person, interviews well, is a good commentator.
She's one of the best commentators.
One of the best doubles players, in my opinion, ever on the female side. But her service motion is really simple and good. She doesn't drag the back foot forward. She stays set. She doesn't have a huge loopy downswing. She gets there. She gets set, and she goes. So I'm gonna give Maddox-Sands shot of the day, because watching her serve today was really nice. Her service motion is really nice to watch. It's fluid. It's elegant. It's short. It's compact. So good for her on the service motion, and also very good for Sloane Stephens for winning. However,
Sands had that match, honestly.
Maddox-Sands was up 5-2 in the first set, and then it kind of went downhill from there. Stephens took the first set 7-5, I think. I think she reeled off 5 straight games, and then I think it was a 6-4 second. But I think that's
6-2.
It was 6-4 in the second.
6-4 in the second?
Yeah, it was 6-4 in the second. But I think Stephens was up 2-0, 30 love, and then it kind of, a break here or there. But, what's new in the women's game? But I expected Stephens to get here and win 2-2. So I'm going to obviously consider Stephens to go into the second week of the U.S. Open, but barely getting by a fresh-off injury, a bad injury. Maddox-Sands, 7-5, 6-4, being down 5-2 in the first. I don't think I'm going to put her on my team as of yet for the U.S. Open.
Who, Stephens?
Stephens, yeah.
Yeah, she looked a little shaky. But, I think she could still get into the second week.
Possible.
I'm not sure that I'm going to pick her yet.
Me neither. She looks suspect. Now, again, we've talked about Sloane Stephens before. I like her a lot as a player. I think she's a nice young girl, and she's a beautiful young girl. She is one of those that gets wrapped up in the social media stuff a lot, not because I look at it, but because I hear about it. And because I hear about it, does that mean it's true? No, but from what I hear and see, that she's on it quite a bit. Now, I only mentioned that part of Stephens because, oh my God.
This is gonna protect us.
Yeah, we're good. All right, we gotta hurry this up.
Yes. Well, come on.
So someone, and I think it was Stimpy Boy. Was it Stimpy Boy?
He said what? No, he talked about soccer. You're going now into soccer. You're not even there yet.
Well, I'm getting there. But see, the second match that we saw today was Osaka defeated this girl, Para. So it was, I think, and I'm having to fast forward, but Stimpy Boy, who I wrote in at the end, I don't want to get like shocked here. So I'm jumping like all over the place now, but Stimpy Boy had mentioned last week, or questioned, what do you think about Osaka being number one in the world? Well, Osaka is another one of those that takes time out of her interview, not to talk about the tennis match, but to talk about her video gaming and social media. Today we were watching Justin Gimelstob interview Osaka, and instead of her getting into, yeah, I felt good, or I remember this shot here, you know, I missed this shot there, I was debriefed on her video games and her social media page, and that's what I got to learn about Osaka. So all I'm saying for Osaka and Stevens, I like them both. They're both strong players, but they are the strongest of a typical Western game American tennis players, in my opinion. I know Osaka's Japanese or flies the flag thereof, but again, she's a Florida-trained young girl. I think, where is Sloane Stevens trained? She a Florida girl? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
She was in California.
Maybe it's California.
Yeah.
So is it Madison Keys kind of that same trio?
Madison Keys trains in Florida. Chris Ever.
Yeah,
she did.
So all I'm getting at is, if you're going to, in my opinion, and I may be wrong, but if you're going to say Osaka's going to be a potential number one, or could she be, then I have to say, well, can Madison Keys be number one? Can Sloane Stevens be number one? Because I feel like if I watch Osaka, if I watch Madison Keys, if I watch Sloane Stevens play, I'm watching the same player. That's all I'm saying. That's what I see. The same tactics.
I was a little bit shocked when Justin Gibbleson was interviewing. She said, yeah, I play video games. And then he said, well, what's next to social media? I mean, if you watch the European players, none of them talk about that. They just don't, you know? They talk about how they did in their tennis game and what did they have looking forward to the next match. They're a bit more serious.
Yeah, okay, so so let's say I'm Mary Jane from Germany. Hey, Mary Jane, how was your match today? Well, I played very well, and I hit my shots, and my footwork, I didn't feel like it was quite good enough, but I got going when I needed to, and I had a great match. I had a couple drop shots that I missed, but I'll work on those, and I'll keep my fitness up, and let's go. Now, I watch Osaka today, and I'm quoting, or not quoting exactly, but I watched it. Hey, how did you play today? Oh, my God.
You see it?
No, I'm good. So
I would speed this up a bit.
okay, so what she says in return is, oh, well, you know, I felt pretty good, but, you know, I went to this video game championship where they play professionally, and then I, you know, took my social media.
Overwatch.
Overwatch. Yeah, I went to an Overwatch championship, and I took my pictures, and so I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to hear her take, her athlete take about how she played it. I'm learning about her video game and social media accounts that I could care less about. So for me, Osaka, will she get into the second week at U.S. Open? Maybe, but definitely not.
I'll watch her matches for sure.
We'll watch the matches. Look forward to them.
I mean, she'll destroy Para.
Yeah, I like the girl. I hope she does well, but I don't think you can be serious about being number one in the world if you're spending all your time at video game events. No
I get rid of the head coach, honestly.
Yeah, and the head coach. I mean, I think he's maybe a good hitting partner, but I think Serena might disagree with that one. But nonetheless, he doesn't seem like.
He seems fake.
Yeah, I don't know the guy, but we're gonna go next. So anyway, Osaka won today. Stevens beat Maddox Sands. We had last year's champion Makarova lost today to a girl named Bogdan, a Romanian girl. Another Romanian. We talk about Buzărescu. We got Halep. Now we got Bogdan. I mean, we've talked about these westernized or American players, the Keys and the Maddox Sands and the Sloane Stevens, and the list goes, Allison Brisk, and the list goes on, Coco Vandeweghe. And we live in this huge country, the richest in the world, and we're rolling off Romanian players. And boom, boom, boom. Big
there were a lot of American players that lost today in the first round of the City Open.
Jeez, man, Romania's doing big things, so we gotta talk loud for the rain.
I know.
All right, so someone that I'm bringing up again, I've talked to you guys about her for the French Open, for Wimbledon, and now the U.S. Open, through both run-ups to the tournaments. Vekic, Wawrinka's girlfriend, Vekic, V-E-K-I-C, beats the more out-of-shape American girl, Dolhide. She's out of shape.
She's out of shape for tennis.
She's out of shape
She does not look like a tennis player. As a tennis player, you need to look fit.
Yeah, so the girl Vekic, we had talked a lot about, and she is going to probably edge into my U.S. Open team. Right now, I'm liking Venus Williams to be on my team. Not saying she's going to win it, but I'm liking Venus Williams on my team, and I'm liking Vekic on my team so far. Venus Vekic, Venus Vekic, Venus Vekic.
I don't know yet about her.
So watch Vekic. Dolhide, it seems to be a quality player, but her fitness...
She looks like Brady to me.
Yeah, her fitness...
Dolhide and Brady look the same.
Yeah, her fitness looks subpar, so hopefully we can get that addressed. And if she was much more fit, I think Dolhide could be one of the better...
Well, you know, there's 3 players. Dolhide, Brady, and Townsend. They need to work on their fitness.
All right, so moving forward, we had the Swiss player Bencic, who was always a good player, still is. She had an injury, kept her out of the game. Wow, she won today. One of her favorite players, one of mine too. I actually watched Justine Henin play Kuznetsova in person in New York for the 2007 U.S. Open Final. Was there, sitting there. I was doing some racket stringing around the area, and I had an opportunity to watch that match. Kuznetsova does screech, by the way.
She does.
I remember,
she more like grunts like a dude.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. Just to throw that in there, another grunter. That's from years ago and currently. But Kuznetsova won today. The young British girl Bolter defeated Krunic, Krunic. I only mention that because Krunic we've covered a lot too, and we've mentioned Bolter.
Bolter, yeah, is like the next upcoming British star.
Yeah, like a young British player that's
like
doing
Watson
well.
was once upon a time.
So whereas Krunic was actually on my Wimbledon team, I'm going to remove her from contention on my U.S. Open.
Same here.
Men's side at the City Open, because of rain delays there yesterday and some today, and the match is not starting till later on today, I do have only one match to relay, and that was where Andy Murray, we all know who Andy Murray is, barely squeaked by an American player, McDonald, in 3 sets. To me, irrelevant the match entirely, because I don't think Murray's going to do anything at the
It
US
didn't
Open.
matter to me either watching it. It really didn't matter that he was saying, come on, when he won, because really, come on, McDonald, you should have creamed him.
He's like, yes, I just beat McDonald, 7-6, 7-5, 6-4, whoa.
I think he will have the roughest comeback out of Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. I think Wawrinka will have a better comeback.
No disrespect to Murray. He's been a gladiator for a long time. Gladiator for a long time. Hope he does well. I just don't see it happening at the U.S. Open. Wawrinka tonight plays Donald Young. Let's be real. Donald Young is just like, to me, Madison Keys or everybody else. I mean, they're at the same level. So
no, Madison Keys is much better than Donald Young.
Yeah, Madison Keys, I think, would take out Donald Young. So,
what?
So look, tonight Wawrinka's playing Donald Young. He will surely win that match. Easily.
I hope so. Yeah.
I hope so. Wawrinka could be my unseeded player at U.S. Open. By the way, just saying. Go wow.
I think the rain's getting harder.
Yeah, it's coming down pretty good. So we're almost done though. So we have the young Zverev tonight. Sasha, what's his real first name? We always call him Sasha, but what's his first name for real?
Oh my God, Alexander.
Alexander, yeah. His brother's Misha. So anyway, he plays Jaziri tonight. Jaziri's been around a long time, actually. He's a good player, but Zverev should win that easily too. Tournament out in California, San Jose women's. We had Azarenka, Victoria Azarenka, obviously, multiple Grand Slam winner. I think she has 2 Australians.
I think so.
She has 2 Australians, I think. Beat another mother. They're both mothers. Beat Bonarenko and 3 sets, 3 tight sets. First of all, congratulations to both women there, both mothers and on the court. Really good job to both of you girls. Again, this match I mentioned because of who I think may get into the second week of U.S. Open. I think Azarenka could. But again, we've talked about Azarenka in previous videos. I think her size, her thickness, her muscles are not anywhere close to where they used to be. And I think because her game was a powerful game. She was a powerful, aggressive player off both wings.
She was a high-risk player.
High-risky player. But now I would have to turn the video down because I couldn't hear. Couldn't hear it. Couldn't listen to it. I just can't. But I like watching her game, but I just cannot stand to hear her screech. However, I think that she can make the second week of the U.S. Open. I would not pick her to win it simply based upon where she is still fitness-wise and mentally-wise going through her personal off-the-field stuff. Good match, though. Worth definitely reading about. I did not see the match, but I'm glad Azarenka pulled through that one. And I think she may make the second week of the U.S. Open, but I don't think she'll win. The young Kenin girl. She's from Russia, lived in the U.S. or born here, something like that. She won today, the 19-year-old. Collins, I think she played college at Virginia.
Yes.
Carla likes Collins a lot for her fight and attitude. I don't think that she's going to win the U.S. Open.
No, I don't think so either. But it'll be good to see what happens in hardcourt season.
All right, so good job, Collins, for that win. Actually, we really enjoy watching you play. You have a lot of heart and a lot of fight, and it's a pleasure to watch you play. So here we are mentioning another Romanian again, Buzărescu. We've mentioned Buzărescu a lot, right?
Yeah, I've learned a lot about her this the grass court season.
Yeah, watch out for this Buzărescu girl. Again, you've got this girl Bargan I just mentioned. You got Halep. You got Buzărescu. There's another Romanian girl that we mentioned a couple weeks ago. I forgot her name. But good job here for Romania. I mean, gee whiz, to be a small little country with, not near the economic entities that we have here in many other places in the world, to be putting out these power players in the women's game is quite amazing. Quite amazing. I tip my hat to you in Romania.
Maybe we should send some of the girls to Romania.
Anyway, she was up a set against a girl, and the match was still ongoing. Serena plays Konta tonight, so that's a big match too.
I don't know if they're covering that. I don't think Tennis Channel's covering. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not real sure about that match either, but nonetheless, it should be
a good match for Serena. It should be a good warm-up match for her.
Yeah.
Konta's not an easy player.
I think it'll be shaky on both sides probably. I think if I had to bet on one, I don't think I'd bet.
Serena.
Yeah,
I'd go with Serena still.
Yeah, it's still again rocky ground because of how much further I think Serena still has to go to be fit again. Okay, so we're down to like our last couple of pages here. So just a couple quick topics, and these are going to be quick. I mentioned it just when the lightning started cracking, but Stimpy Boy had mentioned Osaka, whether we thought she could be number one. I mentioned in this topic, as I wrote it at the end, simply because we watched Osaka come off the court and directly, instead of talking about her game, she started talking about video games and her social media. And we talked about why aren't these players coming out of the U.S. and
but how stupid of Gimelson to even ask her this.
Yeah, now how dumb.
If you're a serious tennis commentator, so what do you think of what's your next thing on social media? I don't think Martina Navratilova would be asking her this question. She'd probably say, what do you think you can do better next time on your next round match?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm going to give that whole interview that I saw a thumbs down and a thumbs down. No disrespect to either. Just from a tennis standpoint and from a standpoint of when I want to watch it because I think most of the advertisements are just garbage anyway. And then I'm actually watching two people, a young athlete and a commentator. The commentator mainly questions her social media. She mainly talks about it. I'm like, what am I even watching here?
Well, he even asked Sloane Stephens, your coach was sleeping. Oh, but I got a picture of you sleeping. What kind of questions these are?
They're like taking pictures of themselves sleeping, and then who cares, man? I don't want to see that. I want to see how you play, how your game is, whether or not I think you have a chance, whatever. I don't really watch social media so I can see if Osaka is sleeping, right?
No,
and I don't
Stephens sleeping.
Or Stephens, whoever. I don't turn on the Tennis Channel to watch a tennis match only to see what video game contest this player just went to. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. So my topic question is, and by the way, I don't think Osaka's coach, by the way, is very credible from taking you to the next level. I think he's a good hitting partner probably, but I think even Serena would disagree with that. But my topic is, can we discuss whether or not the absolute influx of social media, self-preservation, self-referencing, what's the word? It seems like the main care of the self with these people that go to these places. They take pictures of themselves everywhere, and they get so wrapped up into it. And I see it in more and more of these young tennis players with the likes of Sloane Stephens, with the likes of Osaka, and with the likes of, and it goes on. Do you think this is why we have less and less and less, especially women's players, besides obviously Serena and Venus, but they've been around since before any of this stuff came around.
If you're an accomplished player, then you deserve to do that. Djokovic does it, Nadal does it, Federer does it sometimes. If you're that accomplished and you've won a lot of slams, then you could do that. But they're not accomplished yet. Yeah, not that accomplished.
So anyway, comment on that. Is this one of the primary reasons why we don't have as many quality players here because we're so self-focused. Anyway, it's hard to be self-focused in tennis in terms of where your mind is off of the court. Second topic, and we're going to wrap this up. Who is the favorite to win the U.S. Open right now on the men's and the women's side? I won't mention my favorite yet. Again, I know Djokovic is my favorite on the men's side. It's hard to bet against Serena, but I don't think she'll win it. Comment on that. Who is your favorite player? Not favorite. Who do you think? If you had to bet money right now, or bet something that, forget about money, we're not talking about money, but if you had to bet something you cared about right now on who would win on the men's side or the women's side, who would you pick? Comment on that. What do you think?
Oh, I won't say mine until it's a lot closer. I have to watch a lot more hardcourt tournaments to decide that.
All right, so I think it would be pretty tough. If I had to bet right now on the men's side, I would have to say Djokovic, only because you have the big three. We've talked about that. Djokovic, Nadal, Federer. Anyone's going to say one of those three will win it. So if that's the three I have to choose from, and right now I had to think about peak level, fitness, attitude, where they are at mentally, the fight that I think they have in them currently right now for the hard courts, I don't think if I had to choose between the three, I don't think I could bet against Djokovic. So I would say Djokovic wins it on the men's side. But I'm not going to call that a deal until I see the draw. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this show. We do shows a lot now, so sometimes we have good days and sometimes we have days we think are worse than others. So hopefully this one came across good. I think a lot of times we walk inside, we're like, man, I don't feel like that one was that good. I think we performed badly. She's like, no, it's good. And I'm like, no, I think we performed badly. And then it ends up being okay. So hopefully this one was good. But we always try to have fun. So thanks everybody for watching. Click a like below, subscribe below, share the video, check out our website at www.5ktennis.com. It's relatively new. We're still fiddling with it, but you can check it out there. And as Carla always says,
Adios.
Adios, guys. See ya.